Okay. Hey. Hello. Hi. So, I'm Charlie. This is a stack of used jeans. I'm gonna make a fun little dress. So we're gonna take these jeans. The general idea of what I want to do is kind of rolling around in my head. But the top, I am gonna do a corset, the one from this book. Let me show you which one. This one. It does come with a pattern. And then for the skirt, I'm just going to kind of drape it until, you know, it at least vaguely resembles what's floating around up inside my head. But since the top is a corset and that has a bit of a plan, I'm going to start with the corset. I went ahead and took the pattern, blew it up on my scanner, and got it all done. So now I just need to get the first mock-up done, and the model who's going to be wearing it is going to be over in a couple of hours, so I need to get started so that she actually has something to try on.
So I'm gonna, what did I do? So I drew the line of where the actual pattern goes because that's where the seam line goes. And then I'm gonna cut it with a pretty wide seam allowance just in case I have to take things out or in while I'm fitting it on my model that's gonna wear the dress. And then after I get it all cut, I'm just gonna sew all pieces together until it's shaped like a corset.
Winnie came over, I fit the corset on her, and now I just need to, I made all the adjustments, so I just need to mark all of those adjustments. So now I'm going to tear it all apart, and I'm going to use these pieces as the new pattern.
It's symmetrical, so I can not use this part and just do all the stuff that I made on the one side. Alright, so I've made the adjustments to the pattern, so now I'm going to go ahead and start cutting up some of these jeans. Ah! Don't throw stuff. That was loud. Alright. I am making it out of recycled jean, and I did get a little bit extra just in case I make a mistake. So I'm only like 80% confident that these alterations are gonna be the final ones. So I'm just gonna cut the outer layer and then attach boning. Yeah. Before I do anything, so, and then have my model come back over for another fitting. So, yeah.
I do want each of the sections of the corset to kind of be a different finish of jean. So I'm going to just kind of play around with which piece I'm going to put on which pair of jeans.
All right, got it figured out. I'm gonna try and kind of chunk it in as little as possible for each one of these pieces, because I do need lots of long strips for the little feathered out part, and then long strips for some of the embellishment that I'm doing as well. So, all right, let's get cutting.
All right, so a million years later, give or take 35 seconds, all of those are cut. So now I just need to line them up in the kind of the order that they go, and then I'm going to start at one end and just start sewing them together until it's, shaped like a corset.
So I either did not hit record or my battery just died while I was recording this part. So I'm just gonna kind of show you what I did real fast. So, for the front part of the corset, I just draw the lines, leaving the opening where all of those are. So this is the front and this is the side of the front. And then I'm just going to stitch, skipping over all of those empty spots. And once that is done, so there's no stitching in all those empty spots, you can flip it around. I might have just turned it upside down, but this isn't the actual corset, so who cares? No, let's flip it the right way. Okay. And then these just go in all the open spots. It's way easier if you go plop that through the iron first. What's happening? All right. And then once that's in like that, then stitch really close to the end of the boning. The channel. Busk. That's what it's called. Go really slow and get as close as you can to it. Not like this. I did it all nice and pretty. But that keeps that towards the front. That's how that side is done. And then the other side, oh, that's not ripped. All right. On the front, poke and mark a hole where all of these need to be. I don't even know what that's from. Then I use an awl to poke the hole so that it's not actually breaking any of the fibers. It's just moving them to one side. And then I just kind of work it in. Super close to the edge. This is a terrible job. Reenactments were done by Timu. And then you've got the two fronts of the corset with the buskin. So now I take and I sew the rest of the front onto the outer part onto this way, and then the inner part onto that. Now it looks way better on the actual thing. But I don't really have the energy to do it all nice and pretty because I already did it all nice and pretty once. All right, this is done. It's the outside. The inside's not done. I still have to do all those pieces, but I want to fit it on my fit model just one more time, just to confirm before I go through and do all of it, because it'll be less work to alter it if I don't have to take apart the inside. So this is done. Now I'm going to go work on the skirt. All right, so while I'm waiting to fit the corset on my model, I need a bunch of strips of jean to do the embellishment on the top and the bottom. I don't know how long they need to be. I won't figure that out till I drape it, so I'm just gonna make them as long as possible and then cut them down to the length that I need while draping it. Oh my goodness, that took forever. But it's all done. It's all stripped. It's all made into strips. So now I just need to start draping it on the costume, on the corset, and on the skirt till I kind of find a look that I like and go from there.
Winnie came over for a fitting, got it all done, looks fantastic. So I am gonna go ahead and flip back to working on the corset and do the skirt in just a little bit. So I went ahead and sewed all the inside pieces now and attached those. So I just gotta flip it right side out. And yay.
All right, front, the outside, it's the top, and the inside are all sewn together. I'm going to go ahead and pin together all the seams to make sure that that lines up, and then spend the next forever sewing in boning lines. I just realized, looking down at the pattern, there's a bunch of them. So all right, gonna sew in some boning lines and then do the same thing to the other half of the corset. The fun part is, since I'm making this from jeans, it's upcycled. Some of these jeans, some of the fabric is stretchy and some isn't. So I have
The boning lines are all in, boning channels are all in, and then I went ahead and attached the finishing along the top of the corset because that's what will stop the boning from coming out the other end. So I went ahead and did it all along the top, and then we're gonna get all the boning put in, and then I'll go ahead and finish the bottom.
boning channels in. I got the top finished, and I got the boning channels in and just put the boning in. The pattern isn't actually separated up here. I just did it because I thought it would be easier to get the model in and out of. So now I'm going to run the trim along the bottom, and then I'm going to add the embellishment to the side. And then I can start on the skirt.
So now I just have to pin all of these strips on the bottom of the skirt, and then we're gonna kind of loop-de-loop them so that some of it goes down and some of it does in a loop-de-loopy little, technical term, the loop-de-loop. Yep. So basically just play around with the skirt for hours until my head hurts.